recorded that crude oil was first discovered in Olobiri, which is a small community in Ogbia local government area of Bayelsa State in the Niger Delta region of Nigeria. Shortly after the discovery was made, the town began to flourish, with people from all over the world, far and wide, engaging in different economic activities. This gave prominence to Nigeria, and the country became qualified to join the group of oil producers around the world. Olobiri, a community in Ogbia Federal Constituency, and by extension the Niger Delta, has become a site for sore eyes since oil was discovered in the mid-1900s. The Niger Delta is grossly underdeveloped, despite the fact over 90% of Nigeria's revenue is derived from this region. The federal government, however, attributes the underdevelopment to insurgency and youth restiveness. The Osasu show took a closer look, only to discover that the role played by international oil companies, IOCs, such as Shell Petroleum, Ajib, Chevron, and others, contributes immensely to the underdevelopment of the region as well. In this short documentary, we visit Ogbia Federal Constituency to ascertain facts relating to a Shell Petroleum pipeline spill that has affected well over 18 communities and killed 2 persons thus far. Honorable Festus Omoni, a member of the House of Representatives for this constituency, will set the scene for us right after this short break. Don't go anywhere, and we'll be right back on the Osasu Show. Honorable Sodagwa Festus Omoni, thank you so much for joining us in today's program.
Thank you, Osasu.
So, Madam, can you just walk us through the events that led to the oil pipeline spill in your federal constituency, Ogbia Federal Constituency?
I got a call from My Royal Majesty about 2-3 weeks ago that there's a problem in my constituency and that there was an oil spill. I was really disturbed. I think 2 days later, and I went to find out for myself whether it was really true. So I went down with a crew, AIT, to really find out. And to my dismay, I found out that it was true, that there was an oil spill, you know, at the middle of a Ekoli Creek. Before that time, I thought it was in the forest, only for me to reach there, and I was told that it was an oil pipeline that busted in the middle of the river. That's a submarine pipe that busted, and there was a huge spill on the 27th of October, when the flood season was very high, you know. So that was what I found out.
From our investigation, some people have reported that there's a possible link to a sabotage. Have you been able to ascertain whether this is factual or not?
No, it was not a sabotage. That oil pipeline is over 40 years old.
40 years old?
Yes, it was.
And the average time span of the pipeline should be 20, right?
20 years. So it has been there, you know, over time, and it has corroded because it's underwater, and it got bursted on its own.
Okay.
Yeah.
And according to some information that we're getting from your constituents, the pipeline does belong to Shell
Yes.
Petroleum.
Yes.
Okay. How were you able to ascertain this fact?
Yeah, because it's there. It's quite clear. We have one of Ajib oil, which is adjacent to it. It's very clear. There's a sign there that says it's Shell.
Okay.
And from what we gathered, they shut it down.
They shut down the pipeline flow.
Yes.
Okay, and that did that stop the spread of the spill, or?
Yeah, it stopped because no more crude oil is passing through, so at least. But the quantity of crude oil that came from that pipe was huge.
Wow.
It was quite huge.
Have you reached out to Shell? Have they said anything? Have they released an official statement?
Not really. I have not reached out. As a lawmaker, my first assignment is to make sure I take it to the floor of the House, to inform the House as a matter of urgent public importance, because it was a disaster. And I did that, and it has been referred to committees, upstream, oil and gas, environment, NEMA, and compliance, those 5 committees.
Okay.
So the process is going on now. But I would have thought that Shell would have reached out to the stakeholders in the area. Just recently I learned that, I think today, that Minister of Environment and Shell, they are going to, that's at the state level, that they are going to see the place. So it's obvious that Shell is aware.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
And Nostra as well. Nostra, NEMA,
Nostra,
have they sent in representatives?
Nostra is aware, but I know NEMA, they are not really into the picture, yes, because the government is supposed to inform them that this had taken place. On my own, I'm reaching out to NEMA. But the thing is, with this kind of spill, the process of getting government to move is slow.
Why is that?
I don't know. I think they've taken it for granted that this can just be buried or something. From the accounts of the youth leader of one of the communities there, that it had happened before, and they are written to Shell. Nothing was done until now. That was 10 years ago. So I think it's a practice of these oil majors to try to cover up when perhaps people are not aware, or that they take it for granted that we are so ignorant. The people are so ignorant that it will not go anywhere. If not, if 10 years ago it had happened, then I was not in the National Assembly. Mm-hmm. It's because I am in the National Assembly that I now took it up, and that's why people are aware.
These IOCs will not be able to get away with this without the cooperation of the federal government, without the cooperation of the Nigerian government. I mean, international corporations don't just go into any country and pollute the environment if the stakeholders involved are holding them accountable. So what role does the federal government play in this?
Well, the first thing the federal government is supposed to do is send in the regulating agency, which officially I am not aware, but I heard that Nostra had gone there and make their assessment, but I have not seen the report yet. Well, on the side of the federal government, at least that first response is not quick enough, because this kind of spills, they are supposed to be rapid response, yes, to at least mediate, the immediate thing that has happened, the health of the people, relief materials in terms of medicines, at least to test the people. You see the pictures, those children wading in the crude oil. It had never happened anywhere in the world. But you see such things happen in Nigeria. Such things happen. And they get away with it because of inaction of the federal government. I'm looking at it from that point of view. Some people will say, oh, the Niger Delta vandalization and so forth. This is not it. This is pure negligence of Shell and the regulating agencies of government in trying to know the age of pipes. The Niger Delta is littered with pipes that have expired. Expired pipes are littered all over the Niger Delta. And because of what is happening in the Niger Delta, everything is attributed to vandalism, youth restiveness, and it goes on and on. But we in our area are dying in silence because the voice is not heard. Even when we speak, people will say, oh, it's youth restiveness. Before the advent of youth restiveness, if we are taking, for example, this pipe, is 40-something years old. If you have a child 40-something years old, is no more a child. Is a grown-up man. Grown up with family and so forth. So 42 years ago, where was the youth restiveness in the Niger Delta? Youth restiveness in Niger Delta just started recently of vandalism. So it's because the people are desperate. The people are frustrated. They feel that they don't have any voice. Nobody is coming to their aid. That is a cry for help. And look at what has happened recently in my constituency. Nobody has said anything. Not in the newspaper. Nobody has come to talk about it. Everybody is treating it as a normal process of government business.
Let's take a break right now. Let's hear from Amnesty International about the sanctions proposed to Shell International as well as other oil companies that have been polluting the Niger Delta. So take a look at this and we'll take a short break and we'll be right back on the Osasu Show.
So Amnesty International has been investigating a number of oil spill sites in the Niger Delta, in Ogoniland to be precise. And what we've found is that the sites are still contaminated with oil. When you go there, you can see and smell for yourselves the oil that is still present in the land and the waterways. What we've since found out is that Shell, the oil giant, claims to have cleaned up these same oil spill sites. That's why the subtitle of this report is that Shell has been making false claims about how it has cleaned up these places. So what we're calling for, what Amnesty International is calling for, is for Shell to go back to these places and clean them up once and for all. And we're also calling for the Nigerian government to keep a much closer eye on what Shell is doing, to hold this company to account, to make sure that Shell is doing what it says it does.
Will it also be correct if at the end of this event today, you say you're also calling on the government to keep an eye on Nostra, because part of the report also indicted Nostra as certifying some sites that they cleaned up when actually. Thank you
for that question. You make a very good point. That yes, there is Nostra, which is the government regulatory agency, and it is Nostra's job to certify the cleanup that's conducted by Shell and its contractors. And we have found in a number of locations that Nostra has certified as clean places which are clearly still contaminated. For example, Okulwebu in Ogale, this has been certified as clean. But I went there in August and I saw and I smelt the oil which is heavy in the air. So something has clearly gone wrong. Now we're calling for Nostra to be provided with greater capacity. It needs more resources so it can conduct independent investigations, but also it needs to hire people with much greater expertise so that they can hold to account what is, after all, one of the world's richest and most powerful companies.
Hi there, meet Ekaite from Ekaite Services. Ekaite is your very own virtual personal assistant who you can assign a wide range of tasks to via WhatsApp. What kind of tasks? Well, Ekaite can do all your grocery shopping, assist you with travel arrangements, take care of your laundry and dry cleaning, deliver food from your favorite restaurant right to your doorstep, arrange for diesel to be sent to your home or office, provide professional drivers when needed. Ekaite can also arrange reliable house cleaners for your home, send gifts to your loved ones on your behalf. Too lazy to cook? Ekaite can arrange a chef to prepare you a meal right in your home. These are just a few of the things Ekaite can do for you. Let the most efficient personal assistant in Nigeria help you have a more productive life. Add Ekaite on WhatsApp now on 0908 082 1111. Find out more on www.ekaiteservices.com.
Some say Africa's golden era is gone. A time when great African kings and queens built their dreams into empires, stretching across the continent and beyond. But we say a new era is upon us. A new set of African kings and queens are on the rise. Driven by the same wealth of character as the kings and queens before them. Building new empires of enterprise with the right partnership. So rise up wherever you are, new kings and queens of Africa. Embrace your full potential and be proud of your heritage. Heritage Bank, your timeless wealth partner.
Welcome back to the Osasu Show. Now we'll head to Yenagoa, Bayelsa State, with the Honorable Member, where we'll be visiting chiefs and elders of the constituents as well as the youths, hearing from them exactly what went on, what led to this oil pipeline spill, as well as the ways we can be of assistance to them. So take a look and we'll be right back.
I am His Royal Highness ACT Wongo, Okpoti the 14th, the primary ruler of Okpoti community. We are told that this facility should be changed after 20 years. But this one has stayed for about 40-something years without any change. So the facility has been expired long ago. Our main source of water is the river, and the river is being polluted by oil.
That very day, we are having so many children bathing at the riverside. Farmers were their farms, and then it was a flood period, so the flood really affects most of our children. The children got fainted, affects the farmers, the food they harvest that day, the food and so many things. Like even our old mothers living inside, the ones that are close to the river band, it affected so many of them that they got fainted. For example, even my own mom, she was sick. It affects her to the extent of we were running helter-skelter for her health.
Yeah. Yeah.
First of all, I think I need to introduce my team. The reason we are here, of course, this is my clan, one of the clans making up Ogbia Federal Constituency. We have 3 clans, and this clan is called Anyama clan in Ogbia Federal Constituency. The reason we are here is because of the oil spillage that had happened in one of the clans. And because of the promise I made to my people, I have, on behalf of my clan, brought some legal luminaries to meet the people. The person representing the team is Barrister Niyi Ayola Daniels of IPEP. And also on my immediate right, we have a journalist of international repute, Osasu Igbinidian of Osasu TV show. So you can introduce yourself more, keep it.
Your Royal Majesty, elders, thank you so much for allowing us be here. We are very passionate about the situation going on, and the Osasu show is both an international and national show. We focus on sustainable economic and social policies across Africa. So when we heard about this oil spill, I had to reach out to the Honorable because she posted those pictures and the world saw it. So I decided to use my platform to amplify her voice and the plight of your community. So we're really here to find out the situation and the gravity of the situation on ground, to also send a message to the international community as well as our federal government to let them know that this impunity is no longer going to be tolerated by anybody, because nobody deserves, children don't deserve the situation that's going on right now, to be drinking polluted water, So we just want to hear from your perspective, the situation on ground, the impact that it has on your community, and what ways the international community and our viewers both home and in diaspora can help out. Thank you so much for having us here.
You're welcome.
Recently, within the month of October this year,
precisely from 27, 26, we started having the experience, because we started experiencing how the airborne diseases is affecting the area before the day the crude we saw within our axis when the spill really occurred. And far back, about 10 years back, we equally experienced same oil spill in this same Obanayama, and there was nothing that was done as regards to that. I was still small. The same thing applied when these children were trying to pack the crude, was what we did then equally. And we just packed the crude, and that was the end of it. There was nothing that Shell did to that effect. There were letters that were written as regards to that, but nothing was done.
For the privilege of being here this afternoon with some of our lawyers presently here. Some are in Lagos, like I said, and some are in Abuja. And of course, I salute the elders, the different elders from all the 18 affected communities. And of course, the youth, I salute you also. And I thank you for the opportunity and the privilege to speak here this afternoon. I want to pledge our very strong commitment, passion, and our legal expertise. I want to pledge it to the cause of this particular oil pollution or this oil spill. And I want to use this opportunity to make this very profound statement that I want to assure you that based on information we have gathered so far here, and of course we're going to verify some of these facts and information, but based on what we have seen so far here, I want to assure you that Shell cannot afford not to pay compensation for this. It is impossible. You see, it is not a matter to beg Shell for. The laws are there.
Barrister Nee,
Your Royal Majesty.
we want to first of all thank you and your team that you left Abuja for this place alone is enough proof that you really want to work for us. We have been discussing among ourselves. We did not hear the Ogbia language. All we are doing is to give her, we have given her verbal autonomy to deal with you. You give whatever she agrees with you, she will get back to us.
After our visit to Bayelsa State, we reached out to Shell Petroleum, who released this official statement. You can read the statement in its entirety on our website, www.theosasushow.com. That's it for today's episode of the Osasu Show. We will be following up on this investigative report. But for more information as they develop, you can visit our website, www.theosasushow.com. You can also visit my personal website, osasuigbenadion.com, for news and sustainable development and current affairs across Africa. Until next time, take very good care of yourself. And don't forget, we're all responsible for the betterment of our dear country, Nigeria. We should be watchdogs. We should also be public servants to ensure that predators do not come into our country to take advantage of our resources without actually adding anything to the development of our dear country. So until next time, take very good care of yourself. I'll see you same time, same place next week. And until then, God bless you.